Arctic Youth Ambassadors, and you're watching This Week at Interior.
This week at Interior. Interior this week announced the creation of Great Thicket National Wildlife Refuge, an initiative to conserve and manage shrubland and young forests for wildlife in New England and eastern New York. The approval of the refuge marks a key step enabling the Fish and Wildlife Service to work with willing landowners to acquire land for conservation of unique species and habitats. Find out more at fws.gov. It's been a busy week for Secretary Jewell as travels took her from Alaska to Alabama and points in between. In Fairbanks, Alaska, the Secretary addressed the 50th Annual Alaska Federation of Natives Convention. The Secretary met with Native leaders on a range of topics as part of President Obama's commitment to support Native Americans and Alaska Natives to build strong, prosperous, and resilient communities. In Kirkland, Washington, the Secretary announced Google is donating $165,000 to the National Park Foundation's Open Outdoors for Kids program. The donation will help support the Every Kid in the Park initiative and will fund grants to help more than 1,500 kids visit national parks and take part in environmental education programs. And National Park Service Director Jonathan Jarvis joined the Secretary in Alabama, where they met with federal, state, and local leaders and community members. On the agenda, a proposal to establish the Freedom Riders National Historical Park in Birmingham and Anniston, and discussions about preserving other civil rights-themed points of interest in the area. This week marks 4 years since the superstorm named Sandy came ashore on the nation's East Coast. Secretary Jewell visited Prime Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware to highlight the $38 million marsh restoration effort supported by federal funding for Hurricane Sandy recovery. The restored marsh will better withstand the effects of storms and sea level rise predicted with a changing climate and help reduce the risk of flooding to local communities. And the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management this week announced the completion of several major post-Sandy initiatives. Those include updated offshore maps and consolidated databases from 13 Atlantic states, and the opening of the Atlantic Sand Core Repository and Database at the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory, providing a new inventory of potential offshore sand resources and an unprecedented source of information available to researchers. Get the full story at BOEM.gov. 13 Arctic Youth Ambassadors met with Secretary Jewell this week. The Arctic Youth Ambassadors Program was established by Interior, the Fish and Wildlife Service Alaska Region, and the Department of State in partnership with nonprofit partner Alaska Geographic. It brings together diverse young people from all across Alaska. They serve as ambassadors for their communities and their country at home and abroad, building awareness about life in the Arctic. Check out their blogs at doi.gov/blog. And it's Bat Week across America and the world this week. Bat Week is the international celebration of the many wonders of bats and the vital role they play in ecosystems. It's also a time to learn about the threats bats face, like disease and habitat loss. To learn more about these amazing creatures and find out what you can do to help, check out batweek.org. That's This Week at Interior.